Hey, welcome to Scooby-topia.
Oh, Scooby, no one eats an ice cream sundae with a straw.
Scooby-Doo-Doo.
It's time to look at another one of Scooby-Doo's scariest villains. Because there are so many that keep coming up constantly, I have no choice but to talk about them more and break down what's so frightful. Some of them I'll be mixing things up for a little because I really need to have fun and be self-indulgent right now. But first, we have to take a look at the next most requested and brought up spook yet to show up on the channel. And obviously, of course, we're headed back to the Scooby-Doo show yet again, as it always seems to truly have the scariest. In this case, as far as home video is concerned, we're headed to the Lost second season, originally part of Scooby's All-Star Laugh Olympics, that doesn't circulate as much, for episode 5 airing October 8th, 1977, The Spooky Case of the Grand Prix Race, an episode that never has graced home video in America. It did get this Italian VHS around 1995 or 1996, though. Our deeply requested villain in question, the Phantom Racer. Let's just go ahead and get into this one. The episode opens up at the Grand Prix time trials, everything going fine until they see the return of the Phantom Racer. He cackles as he chases down the racer in front of him, the entire car and driver disappearing in the fog as he ghosts him away. Already, we have an ominous start with the creepy skeleton-looking face, the terrifyingly jolly laugh, and the ability he has to just make an entire car disappear, meaning you aren't even safe there. At an ice cream shop, the gang read about it in the paper, and I love this classic shot of them. The malt shop or whatever scenes are always the best.
That's the Phantom?
They head back to the track to find out more, where sponsor Mr. Osborne explains the Phantom Racer is a driver who went off a cliff in the fog many years prior, and now seeks vengeance against all other racers. One of them in the next race pulls out in fear, but Ken Rogers and two of the others stay unafraid, to Mr. Osborne's relief since he'd be ruined if he had to cancel it. The door opens to a windy and gruesome sight as the boys run to hide, which turns out to be the missing driver who was spirited away. Everyone is left to wonder what the Phantom did, as he has no memories of what took place, making it even spookier. They drive into the fog for clues and find tire tracks that only match up with the width of a race car. However, the inside tracks disappear like the victims. Also, dig Scooby being cut off here. I think they placed him too high up with his head being cut off too. They decide to follow the tracks, even if Velma has to drag the poor, tortured canine, though the racer is following as well. Fred asks Scooby to lead the hunt with his nose, and I love this bit.
Nose? What nose?
Get going.
Look at Fred's face here even, kooky. Bro sniffs out what he thinks is a monster, shout out to Velma, but it's actually a junkyard.
This mystery is getting mysteriouser all the time.
Mysteriouser didn't sound like a word to me, and I googled it to be sure, and it doesn't seem to be, but I love that it's in Fred's vocabulary. Anyway, the tracks finish here too, and they find a jet plane with the engine missing. But before they can even process that, there's flashing lights. They check inside the building and get a fright from a creepy man, but mostly these faces are killing me, they need help, look at that. Anyway, Scooby masterfully demonstrates that they're looking for the Phantom, and the guy says he sees the spook haunt the old antique car museum on the hill. They pull up to it, love this, look at them, but it seems the old spook beat them to it. Fred has them try to climb a branch to get in. It kind of flops, but Scooby flip-flops in anyway. They split up to look around, with old Gigglepuss over here watching and ready to jump scare the boys. He just growls around trying to find them until Scooby gives him a butt lift with a big fat ass, and then slaps it for a job well done. Like, damn. They get caught in a poster though. We've all been there. The others hear their yelp and rush, where we see the Phantom stuff the boys into a car to push them down the cliff, while the others can only watch in horror. The car flies apart, and thankfully the boys just bounce into a tree with hungry vultures, so they rush over to the others who came to check on them, as the Phantom cackles out again.
No one in the Grand Prix race will escape my vengeance.
The gang try to rush back to stop the next racer, Ken Rogers, but it's too late as the Phantom races toward him, and the fog whisks away another car into the night. This time, however, the car left tracks, but not the Phantom. Fred decides the only way to figure this out is for old Ghastly to chase them next, and by them, of course, we mean Shaggy and Scooby will be chased in this little race car. Fred promises their safety with a parachute they can use if the spook gets too close, so they head to the track where he's right on their tail as expected. Scooby tries to artificially speed up as Mr. Phantom's face becomes more diabolical, so Scooby pulls the lever. The Phantom seems to just be waiting below though as they land on the car, Scooby trying to hang on for dear life. The gang mistakes Scooby for the Phantom, and in the aftermath realize Shaggy was taken with the Phantom in the fog. Old Boy stuffs Shaggy down as he sees his flashing lights from the building we saw before, and they disappear. The gang find the tracks vanish once more, and it seems the watchman inside is gone, so they check the place out. Danger-prone Daphne tries to turn on the lights and triggers a trap door, and as they check everything out, Thelma suspects Shaggy isn't too far. They split up, and Fred and Daphne find all the missing cars that someone has started repainting. More weird, there's books on magic tricks and hypnotism. Thelma and Scooby meanwhile find the Phantom's car, and follow the sound of his laugh to see what's honestly kind of funny. Old boy trapping Shaggy in a hole in the wall with some fresh laid bricks. Somehow they toss some soap powder and water into the bricks without him noticing, I don't know how, and they just start slipping out of his hands, and eventually start flying all over, which again is kind of funny. One even flying into Scooby's mouth without killing him. It does land on his foot though, and I love this bit of him taking the bottle and putting his scream inside to try and stay quiet, though it's so powerful it breaks out and alerts the Phantom anyway. The chase starting, Thelma has them redirect to Shaggy, and sends the bricks after the Phantom, his clumsy ass rolling all the way back into the bricks and freeing their friend that probably could have escaped anyway since nothing had hardened yet, while causing himself more pain. Everyone reunites, but the Spectre is creeping up, so they rush to the cars and start a speedy chase, the Phantom gaining on the boys as they knock loose a giant rock that just barely misses them several times until it flings the Phantom upward. At last, the old ghoul is caught up in a tree, kind of an unexpected end for him. They prepare to unmask, revealing Ken Rogers, who faked his disappearance and wanted to sell the race cars overseas. The first clue was that jet plane, as he put the engine in the R to make it so fast, explaining its weird noise. I guess. This wouldn't have been possible in real life, probably. His car was also rigged to basically swallow up the others with magnets, making them appear to vanish until he got back to his little ghost lair in the junkyard. There, he used hypnotism so the drivers wouldn't remember. It was just a projection when Ken himself was spirited away. It turns out the old watchman they saw before was also Ken in disguise. In the daylight, it seems the races are back on with no more troubles from Phantoms, except a big fat bone, but that's a job for
Scooby-Doo!
And that's the Phantom Racer. I don't personally find him all that frightening myself, but he seems to have imprinted his demonic laughing face on many children well into adulthood, making him easily one of the most requested villains for this nightmarish series. I can see the vision. The fact that he can make cars seemingly vanish when you'd hope you're at least safe in your vehicle as an escape, the way he ominously laughs with that terrifying face and so menacingly creeps around, the episode mostly taking place at night outside with plenty of fog until the Phantom is gone, adding another unsafe feeling. And unlike a lot of these freaks, this is one ghost ready to kill. If Shaggy and Scooby weren't so indestructible, him pushing them off in the car could have easily killed them. Whether he's attempting murder or spiriting away entire cars, this is one ghost that actually seems to pose a threat. And with a mug like that, it's not much of a surprise that he would haunt the nightmares of those lucky enough to see him, considering this episode doesn't have as much circulation with no legal DVD, or in America, even a VHS. What about you? Do you have any not so fond memories of this Phantom Racer? I know there's definitely a good amount with how often he's brought up, so let's get into why exactly this one was such a terrifyingly memorable fever dream for you, or maybe why he's lame and not so scary if that's where you fall. Either way, let's do it. Sorry for another delay between videos. In a perfect world, this video would have been out like a week after that last one. I even alluded to it in that. Unfortunately, my mental health is pee-pee poo-poo, and things keep actively happening to make it worse. So, sitting down to write a fun YouTube video isn't all that easy even when you planned out like 7 of them as I have. The good news is that I do have many planned. Some more scariest villains with a twist, and some videos that are completely out there and different from usual. So we'll see where those go. No promises. If you liked the video though, hit the little like button because the algorithm kind of hates me now on YouTube. Subscribe so you don't miss that next video should it happen. Although with how much YouTube hates me, that doesn't guarantee you seeing it. Follow me on socials if you want. You'll probably know about a new video from Tumblr or Twitter. I'm probably tweeting about TV or music unrelated though. I think that's about all for now. I'll see you next time in Scooby-Topia. Bye!